Welcome back to the Morning Scramble, everybody. Okay, are you getting ready to send your child to college? How's the planning going? Have you saved enough money? Well, you know what? You might be making some pretty big mistakes. That's right, mistakes. Chip Wittrock is joining us this morning. He's the co-founder of College Prep Mastery. He's here to tell us how we can avoid the 5 biggest mistakes when it comes to planning for college. Good morning.
Good morning, Lisa.
So this sounds very intriguing. 5 biggest mistakes. Tell us, what are a lot of us doing wrong here? Let's start with the first one.
Well, we could go on beyond 5, but we'll just start with the top 5.
Okay.
Picking a course of study. 3.1 million students starting school each year, and the most declared major is undecided.
Oh, wow.
So they're just going into school with no directions. Guidance counselors in our high schools got a lot on their plate, and the resources that they have available to them are pretty limited. So the aptitude tests that kids take in high school lead boys to business, girls to administration. Well, the world's so much greater than that now. So if kids can really take the time, and there's good, solid, proven programs out there that can really dig into their intellect and their passion and their interest and coordinate that with their education and give them some ideas on what they can do for a career. And then when they're in high school, if it requires a lot of biology, they can try biology. So if they love biology, maybe they're on the right track. If they find out they hate it, well, maybe you can rethink what it is that you want to go into when you grow up.
So yeah, so instead of being a doctor, maybe the world of business is more into your favor of the direction you're going.
Into what it is that they want.
Okay, got it. Okay, so the second one is no accurate college search. Now, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's twofold. One, we see encouragement from parents, or my favorite athletic team, or the school down the street that we're just going to go to school for. And then you find out that it ultimately doesn't really deliver the career that you want to go into.
Oh, kind of like the story I was telling you before.
It can happen to the best of us.
Yeah, hey, my 3 choices for college from what my mother said was St. Mary's of Notre Dame, St. Mary's of Notre Dame, and St. Mary's of Notre Dame. And did I go to St. Mary's of Notre Dame? No, I didn't. So there you have that one.
Yep, no, it can easily happen. And then you see a lot of transfers happening, or a change of career that maybe they're not really interested in. 85% of the college graduates plan to move back home right now. So empty nest syndrome may not be so prevalent like it used to be. So
it's going to be a full house yet again very soon.
Right.
Well, and then hence the 4-year college degree is now up to 6 if you keep changing your major.
The national average is 5.6. So not that college isn't big business, but you know, if you extend your stay, that means another year and a half of tuition. So then that increases how much debt you carry. But then you miss out on a year and a half's worth of working income. That combination is $110,000, $120,000 just in that extra year and a half, and that's part of the problem.
Well, and let's hope that jobs are available for the field that you're majoring in once you get out.
Correct, and that goes back to, you know, when you identify your career and you have a good program, you have a place where you can have your students put in the things that they've done going through high school and the things they've done going through college, and then ultimately have a very comprehensive resume built for them, and it'll do a job search for them as well.
Okay. Now, what about taking the ACT and the SAT without help? Now, what kind of help can we get for something like this? I know this really stressed me out when I was taking it. I took it 3 times.
Our kids are under a lot of stress, but this is the apples to apples comparison that colleges use. And what we see is high schools, you know, love them to death, but they'll have a weekend crash course, or you know, there will be a homemade mom and pop shop in the mall or something that's going to try and provide some benefit. But there are old, well-proven programs that'll actually guarantee an increase in your ACT or SAT scores, that have the resources to study, whether it's manually or whether it's on a CD-ROM or whether it's online. They've got practice tests that'll help these students be prepared for one of the most important tests they'll take when it comes to getting into college.
Well, and I think, like you said, the time involved, because I know there's so many people out there that are very bright, but when it comes to taking a test, they're just not good test takers, and there's a method to it.
There's clearly a method to it, and that's part of the other issues that we hit is you know, we're taught to memorize and pass a test when we go through high school. Everybody thinks high school gets us ready for college. It makes us eligible to go to college.
Well, how is the studying different then?
Well, we don't really memorize everything we do in life. We've got to understand what it is that we're getting so we can apply it. We don't study something and then take a test on it and then we get a paycheck. We've got to be able to understand what it is that we're doing. So, you know, the study skills that are necessary to get through college, and that's why, you know, the fallout rate's so high as freshmen. They're just not prepared to really go in and evaluate, analyze, and understand those college. But yeah, it's just a little bit too much for them.
Okay, so what about when it comes time to mom and dad sitting down with your child and you're filling out your financial aid forms? You know, what is this FSA? And why do we need professional help when it comes to filling it out? I hear it's just a bear.
It's the starting point. It is. You talk to almost anybody who's ever filled out the form. Either one, they'll confidently feel that they filled it out accurately, and 40% of the people have made mistakes on there. That's the national average. But it is so complex. It's a very convoluted, built by the Department of Education form, but it is the benchmark for all the aid that's available out there. And it's just not a place for a do-it-yourself. So what we've done is we've made it a very simple, easy to fill out form. And then we've got a crew of 28 ladies that have done it for the last 18 years. So they,
step by step,
families never have to touch the form. They get an easy to fill out form, and then we do all the
Well, I know one person, she said it took her over 2 weeks. 2 weeks to fill this out.
And you can just rest assured that there was mistakes and flaws in there. The material that they ask for, it's duplicating and requires families to put in information that they don't understand what the outcome is to the answers that they're providing.
Okay.
That's what kills them.
Okay, so in my case, we were talking, I have triplets. The viewers know I have triplets, okay? And so when I'm filling out these forms in a couple of years from now for financial aid, I mean, do I have to sit here and think, okay, I have to set aside, I don't know, thousands and thousands of dollars to pay for their college, but that may not be the case.
Well, you know, I'm not saying I wouldn't save for college, because it's going to be a load to tote.
Right. Oh, I know.
But then it's where you save.
Right.
You know, that's one of the other mistakes. Not knowing the impact of what it is that you're doing, just like filling out the financial aid form.
Yeah.
Where do I save for college?
Right.
You know, we get led to believe 529 plans, education IRAs, savings accounts, brokerage accounts, savings bonds. You mentioned it. There's two types of assets. There's assessed assets that count against you and increase how much you have to pay for college, which are those assets that I just listed off. And then there are non-assessed assets, assets that you can own that do not count against you. 401k plans, IRAs, annuities, cash value life insurance. So there's places you can store money that won't hurt you when you go to apply for financial aid.
Okay, so the 529s that I have for my triplets right now, I'm not really on the right path then, am I?
Well, if you're, you know, extremely affluent and you're going to pay for everything, then it may be a place for you to save. But for the majority of America, we call it the middle class gap, from $50,000 to $150,000. It's going to do them more harm than good. Oh
my gosh, Chip, we're running out of time here. Where can our viewers find out more information about you and your company, should they have additional questions?
Yeah, collegeprepmastery.com. What we've done is we've taken 18 years of offline success, helping thousands of families save hundreds of millions of dollars, and put it online with our busy schedule so they can access it 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And if they go there and just put in KATV, they'll get it. They can download the free ebook.
Great.
The 5 biggest mistakes.
Thank you so much.
Sure,
such
absolutely.
Important information. All right, everybody, make sure you utilize that. We'll be right back after this.